Today we're taking out this engine, transmission, and we're gonna swap it out.
Yeah, we're gonna swap it out all the
onto
time.
the 370Z.
Today we went like on a trip.
Oh snap!
And I just dropped my chips.
We just dropped the chips, so we're gonna get to it, guys. Stay tuned. Let's start taking off the front end and all this stuff over here. So when you guys are ready, let's get it.
We're ready.
There you guys have it. Took off the intakes and the cover up top, and now I'm gonna race the car. Oh, I even took this wire from the battery off. Now I'm gonna race the car up, drain all the fluids, and keep going, guys. Let's get it. All right, with the vehicle up in the air, we're gonna access the transfer case fluid, transmission fluid, oil fluid, and coolant right here. We're gonna drain it from there. So that being said, let's get the draining, and then we can start dropping this thing, disconnecting things. Let's get it. All right, so I drained all the fluids, the oil fluid, again, the front transfer case or front diff fluid, transmission fluid, transfer case fluid, and also the coolant. So now that that's drained, we're gonna start by removing this cross member here and the exhaust. So I get out the way and let's get it. There you go, guys. Exhaust is removed, and that bar, that reinforcement bar down here. So next we're gonna be taking off this drive shaft. Oh, I disconnected this as well from up there where the shifter is. Disconnect the drive shaft, and then after that, move along with the tires. So let's get it. There you guys have it. It's removed. All the shields were removed as well. I think I'm gonna keep those and sell them because I know they rot. So anybody needs some shields, let me know. And also selling a trans. So transmission. And a fuel tank if y'all need it. Whatever y'all need. Whatever y'all need. It's all here, buddies and ladies and buddies. Let's get it. All right, so next we're gonna remove the wheel, and we're gonna take off the control arm from the actual body, where it hooks up to the top. And then once we get everything situated up top here, disconnected, then we can drop the whole thing. But since I'm going down, I'm gonna remove these wheels to save a little bit of time. So with that being said, let's get it. There you go, guys. The whole entire thing's taken apart, brakes are off. I'm ready to take all this off to drop the whole entire thing. For the last car I did, it was easier to just take this arm off to put it back on, but I don't think I'm gonna have an engine. Well, I'm not gonna have an engine in here or drivetrain when I put this back, so I think it'll be easier. So we'll figure it out once we get to that point. But I just like to mention things like that because just for reference. Yeah, now pretty much everything's all bolted from the bottom that I can see, like hoses and drive shaft, exhaust. So now I'm just ready to go on the top and take all the wiring and stuff off, and then drop the whole thing. Let's get it. So I removed the power steering line from there, and from there removed the wiring harness from the inside. Removed these from the battery, disconnected the heater hoses from the back, the AC lines. I still have to disconnect the booster line here. I forgot that. But yeah, I just also got to disconnect the fuel line. I disconnected the EVAP. So that's pretty much it. Oh, the radiator hose. So it's almost ready to drop as soon as I take this hose out and the fuel line out, and then should be ready to drop. So let's hope so. Let's get it. All right, guys. So far we're ready to drop this thing. Disconnected the rack and took out the bolts to hook up to the torque converter to the flywheel. I took out this line as well, tied it to the top, and we're pretty much ready to just loosen up the 4 bolts over here and the 4 bolts back in the transmission, and this thing should drop. So let's set up our little table here and get this going. Ready? There you go, our table's set up. So all we gotta do now is loosen up these bolts a little bit and then drop the car and then loosen them up again all the way and then raise the car up. But we're gonna fast forward this. Get ready. Let's get it. That's it, guys. She's out, engine's out. Big old hole up there. Came right out, no problems. Now all we have to do, separate the engine, transmission, and then after that, we are going to take the engine off the subframe and all that good stuff. So let's start by removing the axles first, and then we'll move on to the actual transmission. Let's get it. All right, so we started to remove the axles and some of the wiring. Well, one axle actually. And I'm gonna remove this drive shaft, these lines, and then all the bolts around the trans, since I already took off the harness around it. Well, most of it. This is just stuck here with no table. There you go. So we got this whole entire harness from the trans, and now we can expose all of these bolts around the housing here. So take those off. I already took off the ones coming this way from the bottom, so it should be easy. Zip them out, get them out. Let's get it. Actually, guys, I can't do that just yet. We're gonna have to take off the wiring harness and the intake manifold, so I can hold the engine while I'm taking this out, and I can just slide it out. So that's gonna be easier and less, because the thing's tilted this way. If you can see it, it's tilted this way, and we want it, it's gonna just fall. So we're just gonna hold it with the hoist and keep going. Let's get it. All right, so got the engine off of the thing here, got the trans taken apart here, or from this, separated. So now I'm gonna take out the engine, and this axle, I'm gonna take it out once it's out in the air, just slide it out. It's easier. Why break your back when you have access to everything, right? So this trans is not even centered, but it's holding by for this little cart. It's pretty cool. So comment below if you think that thing's gonna break soon. But with this, I'm gonna have to see if I can lift it up as far as I can up, because we're almost hitting. This is really nuts, but we'll see. I'll let you guys know. Let's get it. All right, I was able to remove it. So what I did, I put the trans on that. It was a wire holder. I don't know if it's supposed to hold this much weight, but it's on there now. It's pretty sturdy. Not really. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it for now. If it falls, it falls. I don't even care. And this engine's just gonna get swapped out, the oil pan. the lower oil pans, and then with the Z once we do the swap. But now I'm just gonna put this back up and get this car out of here and then part it out later on. Let's get it.